Morning. Well, this morning I've got a message about how we can console Jesus and how he's yearning and aching for us to console him. My children, my heart aches for your love and consolation, as there is so much evil and suffering in the world. Yes, my children, my heart aches with an eternal and infinite ache that only your love can console. My children, how few of you think to console me, but only ask that you be consoled. You foolishly see me as God, who is in want or in need of nothing from you, when in fact I am in agonizing and desperate need of your love and consolation to save the world. Look, my children, to my cross and to my suffering, and console me as I continue to hang on the cross mystically through all the suffering and evil in the world. Open your hearts, my children, and be generous to me, your God, your Creator and your friend. Well, what can I say about that message? Only that as I was receiving it, it was really in a tone of absolute begging, to be honest with you. Imagine Jesus really is begging for our love. And maybe the most important message or line of that message is, you foolishly see me as God, who is in want or in need of nothing from you, when in fact I am in agonizing and desperate need of your love and consolation to save the world. So it is true we can say, well, Jesus is God, God has got everything, therefore I can have a nice day and I don't need to console God, I can just be a good person and that's it. And that, if you like, is human thinking. But the reality is that Jesus is God. God became man in the person of Jesus. And then by becoming man, he placed an enormous responsibility, if you like, on man to continue his work of salvation. And then continuing his work of salvation means praying and means then consoling him and bringing, if you like, the kingdom of heaven to earth. And so that's why he says that he is in desperate need of your love and consolation to save the world. Jesus is in desperate need of our prayers. Jesus is in desperate need of our yes. Jesus is in desperate need of our cooperation. Now, it is true God could have chosen to save the world without using us, in which case we might be right in saying he doesn't need us, but he didn't. He chose to save the world by using us. And it's because of this he's in absolute desperate need of us. And that's why after his resurrection you had the apostles, and they went off and they preached and they taught all over the world. And that's why to this day you have missionaries all over the world preaching and teaching about Jesus. And that's why all over the world as well we have saints, we have mystics, and they all spoke basically about the same thing, about prayer, about conversion, and about offering our lives to Jesus, consoling Jesus, and allowing Jesus basically to come into our lives and come into the world. And so Jesus says, my heart aches for your love and consolation. Aches, not just would like, absolutely aches. And he says aches with an eternal and infinite ache that only your love can console. So in other words, because Jesus is God and because he loves then in an infinite, eternal sort of a way, any pain, if you like, Jesus is going to feel. He's going to feel it in his godlike way, and so it's going to be infinite, it's going to be eternal. And every single one of us, he's got a special love for every single one of us. He's got a Michael-shaped love for me. Only I can give him that love. You can't give him the love that I'm supposed to give him. But by the same token, I can't give him the love that you're supposed to give him, because you are unique, just like your fingerprint. You are unique. Only you, nobody else who was created or will be created can give Jesus the love that you can give him, because yours is unique. And so he has a yearning, aching desire that you will come to him, that you will love him, that you will respect him, that you will give your life to him, that you will give him the adoration that he's worthy of, and also so that he will be able to pour out into your heart the true love and the true knowledge of who you are, and bring your life to fruition, true fruition, in him and through him. So he says, look, my children, to the cross. So here's the cross. And to my suffering, and console me as I continue to hang mystically on the cross through all the suffering in the world. So in other words, we could do the same thing again. We could say, yes, Jesus died on the cross on Good Friday. He rose from the dead on Easter Sunday. Now he's in heaven at the right hand of God the Father, and so it's all okay. He doesn't need us. And Jesus is saying no, because he continues to hang on the cross mystically through all the evil and suffering in the world. In other words, every single person, especially every single person that's baptized, that is suffering, that's being discriminated against, that is Jesus. Because it's the Spirit of Jesus, and mystically it's like, and he is the vine, we are the branches, so we're all connected to him. And so mystically speaking, he is still hanging on the cross, he is still suffering, and as a result, he is still in desperate need of our consolation, and we can console him through prayer. We can also obviously console him through charitable deeds, through words, kind action, kind deeds, visiting people in hospital, being helpful to the sick people, all that sort of stuff is also Jesus' suffering. But here we're talking about the realm of how we can console him through prayer, how we can console him through bringing our hearts to him, through loving him. And so then finally he says, open your hearts, my children, and be generous to me, your God, your creator, and your friend. And I'm going to leave on that note, because imagine, be generous to God. I mean, if somebody, for example, I don't know, came at your door tomorrow and gave you a whole lot of money, that you were stuck for money or something, or gave you a whole lot of presents, imagine how grateful you would be and how generous. And if afterwards you learned that there was something you could do for them, I don't know, it was one of their children's birthdays, or there was something going on and you said, God, I can help them, I can give them that. You would, in thanksgiving, not in the sense of, oh, because I owe them. No, because you're so grateful, you'd want to, if you like, give something back. And so imagine Jesus, who gave us life, who gave us salvation, who gave us everything, who is a place in eternity for us, who yearns for us, and yet he is asking us to be generous. It's mind-boggling. It should be the other way around. He's asking us. And so the most generous thing, if you like, we can give to Jesus is our time, is our love, is our hearts, is our lives, is our yes. Just the same as Our Lady, when the angel Gabriel appeared to Our Lady and said, you're going to become the mother of God, Our Lady could have said, oh, well, I don't think so now. I've got plans for the next 20 years, and tell you what, come back in 20 years' time and maybe I might do it then. No, she said, be it done according to your word. And so Jesus is yearning that we, at the same token, would say the same thing to him. Would say, yes, Jesus, you are my God, you are my Savior, you are my friend, you are my Lord, you are my Master, you are my everything. Take my life and be it done according to your word. Let me be generous. Let me be generous in my prayer, generous in my time, generous in my soul. Let me give everything I can to you. And so let us be generous. And let us, through our generosity, let us console Jesus, bring souls to Jesus, bring souls to heaven, bring souls to salvation, and especially heal, if you like, the aching heart of Jesus, where he yearns and where he aches for each and every one of us to know him and to love him. Thank you for watching.